Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're going to paint another autumn themed picture, and this time we're going to paint a twig of autumn leaves. So I'm wetting down the sky with a big brush. It's not a sky, sorry, I'm wetting down what I would call a background with water. You want it sort of wet enough to stay wet long enough for you to do your background work. So what I'm now going to do is take some ultramarine blue. We're not focusing on the sky at all. This is going to be sort of trees in the as the sprig is in the air, and it's hanging off a branch, and therefore it's looking very in midair. Now I'm trying to keep the paper wet because it's the AC is on, and it can get dry very quickly. So we're trying to just, and we're going to put a few in the middle here like that, just a few here. And whilst that's wet, I'm going to take some yellow and put that in the middle, and very dilute sort of yellow all the way down the middle here. And if it now yellow and blue make green, so if it turns a bit of green, I don't mind. So I want it to stay wet enough to be able to do all the stuff that you're doing. Now I'm going to change brush to a rigger, and what I'm going to do with the rigger is make a sort of a brown color, and I just want to just put some lines in the back. And we can sort of do it here as well. Just random lines, and we just want them to sort of merge into the background. They're not going to be the focal, so it doesn't matter if they're sort of faded in some places. Don't forget, these are not going to be the focal point, so if they don't look brilliant, it doesn't matter because they'll be in the background. And now we're going to take some sap green, and what we're going to do is now it's gonna be difficult doing this because we're just gonna put some leaves in the back. They need to be a bit darker. You can add red to it. You just need to make lines so it diffuses. Again, these are just suggestions of leaves in the background here. This is the first time I'm painting something like this, so it has the potential to, everything has the potential to go wrong. Trying to avoid resting my hand on the paper because it's some parts of it are still wet. And now we're going to let that dry. Okay, I noticed that when I was drying, right in the middle, the lighting changed, which is a bit annoying actually. So we're going to have to try and work with the lighting as it is. So what I've done is turn the paper on its side, and I'm going to add in a twig, a sort of big twig, and I want to make it a very dark color with ultramarine, sorry, black and a burnt umber, and it needs to be thick enough to be able to go right the way across and show up at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to use the dagger brush. This is the Stephen Coates dagger brush, and I thought I might as well use it for something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just start from the bottom of the paper. Let me just increase the height a little bit. Start at the bottom of the paper here and go right the way across, and then add a few bits and bobs here and there. Now I'm going to squiggle it about, or it might squiggle about on its own actually. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this off. Okay, we've dried it off, and I added another sort of a twig here as well, a sort of an offshoot to this twig, a smaller one. And I did that because I want to add some leaves over there as well. So what I'm going to do is start off with the lemon yellow and make it quite strong. And we're just going to paint simple leaves here. Just paint them all over the place. And make them go in sort of all sorts of directions. Some going down, some going up.
And even if the twigs underneath show, we're okay with that. We like that.
And we can put more up here as well. And maybe one here or two. And now we're going to dry that off as well. Okay, we've dried that layer off, and now I'm going to put orange on top. And again, if it overlaps, no problem. And if it shows up, no problem. And now I'm going to add red. First we need to let that dry. Now we're going to add the red leaves. And now what I'm going to do is just add some green as well, just a few green leaves, but I want to dry this off one more time. I'm going to make a very dark sort of muted green using sap green and some burnt sienna. And finally, what I'm going to do is take the rigger and just add a few more branches in, twigs rather, mini twigs in, just a few more, and we'll just use the rigger for this. And I'm going to turn the paper over again on its side, connect some of the leaves up. And finally, what I'm going to do is take some coloring pencils and just add a few veins to some of the leaves. Not all of them, but just some. So I'm going to add let's use a purple for that one. It'll show up better. The lighting just keeps changing, and this is what I find annoying. Yeah, I've turned the paper around the other way. The lighting just keeps sort of changing, and it's making it extremely difficult for me to keep the painting sort of looking sort of uniform throughout. So I'm just putting the veins in some of these leaves. Now we're just going to remove the tape. Sorry about the lighting. It was a huge disaster. It just kept changing and changing and changing throughout the painting. And if you notice that it has changed, I'm sorry about that. But if you like this video, you thought you took something out of it, do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And of course, do press the notification bell, because then it'll alert you of any of my new videos. So yeah, consider subscribing as well. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.